Good evening, good evening, good evening. I was having a little trouble getting into my own account. Like, what's going on? How y'all doing?
Good evening, doing well.
Oh, hold on. Had my earphones in. It's like, I don't hear anything. Oh, yeah. There we go. Now I can hear you. Hello, Miss Tanya.
Hello, Mr. Eric. How are you? So, what is your name?
It's Eric.
No, not that part, the last name.
Punches?
No,
Yeah.
I'm asking this, it's because I see Eric Suave.
Yeah. That's my
And
middle.
that's you too, right?
Yes, that's one. That's in the middle. Eric, Eric
It's
Alton
the
Suave
Suave
Punches. Yeah.
himself. Hello, everybody.
Hello,
Uh-oh.
Miss
She
Brenda.
got the smooth talk going on.
And that's what threw me off. I was like, wow, hold up, hold up.
Yeah. It's in the middle. It's in the middle. It's in the middle. Eric Alton Suave Funche, as the
Oh, wow.
Acadian French would be.
Hmm,
So everyone's had a good day. I'm gonna
pretty good.
pretty good, wonderful. Let's share my
Yes.
screen real quick. There's something uh there's something I wanted to just kind of kick off with. And I thought I had it queued, and now I'm not seeing it. The I shared once before that what I'm starting to see, and kind of in this new race that we're on, so to speak, is that in order to in order to to do well with this, it's got to be more than being motivated. It's going to have to be that we share a what's the word I want to say?
Strategies, maybe?
Well, yes, but just the building of habits, the building of things that we do, and they become autopilot. And so with the 60 days, 60 days is 6 months. I'm saying 6 days, 6 months to six figures. I've looked at there's a guy who wrote the book. He's a really young guy, so I think where it's come from before was from a different guru, if you will, that does multi-level marketing. But I wanted to share this particular video. It's only 10 minutes. Just kind of to start things off with our team, with our group. And I'll put it in the chat, but I'm not even wanting to do the whole 10 minutes this evening, because I want us to talk about a couple of points from it, because I think that it's pretty it's pretty important that we kind of look deeper than the surface on some of the things that we do and how we do them. So I'm going to pull this up and share the sound to it, and just do about 5 minutes, and I want to get y'all's take. Share screen. Y'all see that?
Now we do.
Now you do. Oh, Lady Di. Hey. How are you this evening?
I'm fine. I'm good.
Good.
Hello, Diana.
Yes, I
Hey.
appreciate you joining. Okay, when I play this, tell me. Oh, wait a minute. Record.
Hello, Miss Diana.
There's
Hello.
some
How are you?
who are
I'm
not.
doing well.
Okay, so it is
Good.
recording. All right, good.
It
I
is
remember
recording.
Okay, great. I remember to do it automatically. That's like one of the things we forget. All right, can you hear this?
Not yet.
Okay.
No.
All right. Let me go back to share sound. There it is. All right, let's try this again. All right, so Lady Di, I just want to.
Yeah.
This video is like 10 minutes. I want to do about 5 minutes. I'm going to stop it at a certain point, and then I want us to just kind of share my thing as I was sharing with everybody just before you got on. And I won't go back over this with anybody else jumps in because I really do want to recognize everybody's time. That's why at 9, it's close to 9. I want to make sure that we start. I'm not going to wait because you can go back and I'm going to put the video in our Telegram so people can, go back to it. But what I'm really wanting to do is just help us to get into the habit of some things. And I'm made and willing to go the extra mile. Lady Di, Lord have mercy. Lady Brenda, I appreciate so much you you jumping on and the rest of it because you didn't have to. So hopefully what I will share during the next 7 days, and if y'all like it and want to go longer, we can do that, but are just some things where we can learn from each other and encourage each other as we go for this 30 for 30. So here's the video.
How can you make your first 6 figures as an entrepreneur? Joining us is my friend, an absolute rock star entrepreneur, Peter Voogd. He is the author of 6 Months to 6 Figures, which has sold close to 200,000 copies. And he's also the founder of the Game Changers Academy. Pleasure to have you on the show,
Thanks,
my
man.
brother.
Been excited. Yeah, I'm excited, man.
All right, so you break down how to make 6 figures in 6 months in your book. But let's break it down for the person who's out there and they haven't made 6 figures yet. You have some very practical steps. What are the first ones?
Yeah, so good question. First of all, I didn't know it was a framework until after I made the 6 figures. I was struggling, I was frustrated, I was broke, and didn't know I could make 6 figures.
Yeah.
So when it goes down to steps, I'll simplify years of my life and go back to a framework that can help people right away. The first step is knowing you know exactly what you want to do. Like you have absolute clarity on who you are, who you need. You got to get rid of all the noise out there. When I was broke and frustrated, there were so many other things in my head, and I was listening to too many people, taking too many opinions, and I wasn't clear. And when you're not clear, you won't take action. And when you're focused on complexity and all these different things, it's going to halt your action. So the first step, honestly, is absolute clarity on why you want to get to 6 figures and who you need to help you. So for me, I got clear on what I wanted. I didn't want to be broke anymore. Yeah. And I focused on a 6-month vision that was inspiring, that was doable, that scared me a little bit. So if I ask, Mark, 100 entrepreneurs, what's your ideal outcome in 6 months? 99 out of 100 are too vague, they have no clue. So the first thing I did was I got crystal clear on what I wanted to accomplish in 6 months. So I simplified everything to a 1-page plan. I had my vision statement, like my values. I had my top 5 of what I wanted to accomplish. One of them was to make 6 figures. And I made sure that I had enough reasons. I don't think people have enough strong reasons to pull them past the challenges, because the second you set a goal, it's going to be tough and you're going to be challenged, but you need the reasons to pull you through it. So I put my reasons on there. Then I figured out the 1 or 2 skills I needed that were most relevant to my 5 big goals, and I only focused on those. So I see people focusing on too many things. They're listening to every podcast, every video, every book, and they're not focused on mastery. So I just focused on those skills. I had my reasons written down, and I just went all in, and I elevated my circle of influence along the way. But that's step 1, is just absolute clarity on who you are, who you're not, who you need, and make sure you only are focused on things that are relevant to your 6-month vision.
So habits and rituals obviously are something that come up. You talk about it in the book. I know that in order to make 6 figures, if you're not already doing that, just as to go to 6 to 7 and 7 to 8, you have to start to change your psychology, but you also have to start changing your habits and your rituals. So what are some of the habits and rituals that you learned to start applying in your life that made you 6 figures?
Yeah, first of all, I'll tell you this very confidently. It was harder for me to make 6 figures than to make 7. Your first 6 figures is harder than your first 7 if you're strategic. So for me, it was hard. Looking back, it was way harder, to be honest. I don't know. I never had made a lot of income, so that barrier of 6 figures was so tough for me, and it was such a part of my life that I found out who I was. I was missing a lot of family events. I was just all in on my mission. I elevated my circle of influence to a whole new level. So I really shaped who I was. And then from 6 to 7 was the same type of structure, just at a higher level. So habits-wise, first thing is you have to figure out a morning routine that's conducive and congruent to getting you as productive as possible for the day. It's first thing. So I didn't have a morning routine. I would wake up when I felt like it. I would start the day with something that wasn't productive, maybe watching TV, maybe the news. Now I'm very strategic and intentional first thing in the morning. So I have my morning routine, and there's a lot of things out there, Mark, that give you 49 steps to a morning routine. I'm not big on that. I'm more focused on outcome related things. So, because I feel like if you're outcome focused, you're going to produce results like nobody else. So if we're going to get tactical here, the whole purpose of a morning routine is, one, you have to have clarity on exactly what you're doing that day. So you have to have intention, and you have to visualize what your perfect day is to make sure that you know exactly what you want to shoot for. Two is confidence and courage to leave the day strong, to make big decisions. So everything I did in the morning was to make sure I had confidence leaving the house, like I was in the best state of mind possible.
Yeah.
Two, I knew what I was doing. So the first thing I would do, which I never did before this, was the toughest task, or the income producing activity. We've talked about this before.
Yeah.
You got to do the things that are proven to make income. I talk to a lot of entrepreneurs, and they're like busy all week. They're working 100 hours,
Yeah,
but they don't have
still broke.
money. They're broke. And I'm just
Doesn't make any sense.
No, but they're focusing on all the things except what actually matters. And here's the scary thing: doing something unimportant well doesn't make it more important because you do it well.
Yeah.
Okay, so I want to stop it right there. When he said that statement the first time I listened to this, I was like, oh my God, doing something unimportant well
Yes.
doesn't make it more important.
That was just mastery. That was a perfect. Oh my goodness! I just sent this. I just invited 4 people to the to the call. This is great stuff.
It
Okay.
is.
So, so for me, this is, this is why I wanted to do this with us. What I wanted to just have these little nuggets of time, and purposely little nuggets, because it's not going to do us any good if we don't get concise and get focus. He said, he makes the point of being strategic and intentional. So not just strategic, but intentional. And then he makes the point of when, you start the morning off, and this is the same thing that Dr. J has said, Mr. Seigler has said, when you start the morning off, have a routine, but not just any routine. It's a thing of making sure that even our routine is one that is towards our goal. But then there's that other point. What is your goal? Why is that your goal? It's like for years I've said, well, I wanted money, I wanted to have a house, I wanted to have, this kind of car, I want to have whatever I wanted to have. But combining that want with the why comes into place. And so now that I'm older and mature, and still developing, still evolving, it's becoming a thing of, okay, God, why would you want me to have whatever I have? What is the real purpose for my being here? How does this line up with my purpose? If I'm going to have a big house, which honestly, I don't want. Too much to clean. If I'm going, I did it one time, but now it's like, okay, unless the only reason that I would is if it's going to serve the kingdom in some way. If I'm going to have it, then that means that I'm going to be having meetings there. I'm going to be hosting people there that are going to be helping and changing people's lives. The thing now would be, okay, I have a big house. I can invite the Jonathan H. Seiglers to stay so they don't have to go to a hotel. They're comfortable. Whoever I'm asking to help me in maintaining this house, some would call them maids and butlers. I would call them my helpers in my mission. They are going to be there to help me do those tasks that maintain the place while I do the other tasks that get people the help they need to become who they want to become. So when we think about things a little bit deeper, it goes from being, I want this for me, to I want this because it's going to serve kingdom, it's going to serve a higher purpose. Therefore, we're a little bit more pushed to do those things that we wouldn't want to do, like make that call, like set aside that time to invest in ourselves. And that's part we'll get to on next time. That's the end of this call. But just real quick, and we're already at 9:15, but I didn't start early, and my thing is 9:15, 9:30 is definitely the point, the cutoff. So I want to hear from each one of you all, what was like a takeaway just from that first 5 minutes that really just that was like, okay, yeah, that was for me. I needed to hear that. And it may be several things, but whoever wants to start.
Well, I'll speak. There were a couple of things. I think the first thing that I heard was the statement that he made regarding having a basically having that structure that you need. Starting off, I can't.
I know
But
how it
when
is.
you start, basically when you're starting off, when he said it, I visualized myself every day sitting at my desk, going through the things that I need to, knowing the things that I need to do, and not being able to, on a consistent basis, with a level of ease and confidence, just getting to it. Making, knowing, okay, you need to make phone calls. It's always somebody's calling me, and let me take this call, and interrupting. So there's that. And then when he made this statement about just because you do a thing well does not make that thing, did he say important? More important. It doesn't increase the importance of that particular task. And I think that's very, very important to recognize. People will become experts at non-important tasks. I mean, it's just like, this is not serving my mission it's not serving my mission. Right. It's necessary in what I'm doing, but it's not actually serving the mission. I'm doing it way past the point of necessity when it comes to trying to keep the quality, improve upon the quality of how I do this thing, when I'm putting 10 minutes into it and 1 minute would do.
Yeah.
Okay.
Excellent.
10 minutes and 1 minute would do. So those are two things. There was more, but I'm going to leave it at that because I know somebody else is going to touch upon it. I'm sure. I hope.
And if they don't, we'll circle around back to you.
I will. That's
Lady T.
Okay. For me, when he said clarity, I have so much clutter in my brain sometimes, and I have trouble moving it out of the way to get to what I want to focus on. And focus is another thing. I need to learn to do more focus as well. But when he said get clarity on what it is that I want to do, I know I want to help people, but I also got to find my how, which is real estate, but I got to focus on the how. I was thinking, even as Miss Diana was speaking, how I have, even with WTPE, every time Mr. Seigler or Coach Mark or Coach Terry or Coach Joy would say something, I would try to implement it, but I would not try to perfect any one. I just move from one to the next to where I'm getting lost and missing information from the others. And that's been kind of frustrating for me. I'm instead of focusing on one particular thing, like he talked about that, focus on things that are relevant. It's like I focus on everything, knowing full well I can't do that because I have to write everything down, but I have so many notes, and I'd have to try to focus, and it doesn't work. And that's been very frustrating for me. Another Go ahead.
No, I just said, I just agreed. Excuse me.
Okay, and another thing was, and the other one was the focus, focusing on outcome. I am a good processor, a good, I have the ideas, I can work, I can put it together, I can run you through it, all those kind of things, but the actual outcomes, I'm not, that's not one of my strengths. I think I enjoy that. Sometimes I think I enjoy the process too much that I don't care about the outcome, which isn't helping me or anybody else. I don't know if that made any sense.
Oh, it makes plenty of sense.
It makes a lot of sense.
But those were the two that I'll stop there. It was really good. Thank you, Eric, very much.
Oh, yes. ADB, I know you're in the middle of something, but if you want to
No,
share.
I'm not.
Okay.
I'm listening, and I'm telling you, the first thing he said that really hit hard: get rid of the noise.
He went right for the jugular, didn't he?
Yeah, and see, there's a lot of noise out there, and and I'm telling you, it will affect us more than what we realize. And so that's when he said clarity on your why. Now, my many years of being in this industry, they always say your why should make you cry. And I always thought, what is it that I really want that will make me cry? I'm just being honest. We're doing fine. You know, my husband's health is much better. I always wanted to retire. He's retired now, but I'm not where I feel like I want to be. So I can't say that I did that. You know what I'm saying? But I'm going, Lord, why do I have would make me cry? And I think that's the thing that would, and I know that's what he said. He said, those reasons will pull you through. So that's putting those goals in front of me. Like you mentioned, getting your 5 goals that you want for the next 6 months. Have them written in front of me where I can look at it every day. And because something that you meditate on, just like the word, meditate on it day and night, it'll be a part of you. So, and then he mentioned elevate my influence to another level. The people that are around me, just like you guys and what have you, I got to keep, just like this forum is a part of helping me to get all of us into a higher level. And not to say that, you know, we're not trying to make anybody beneath us or anything, but when you have influences like Dr. J, we call him Dr. J, y'all, and thanks to Eric for that, and Coach Mark and what have you, the influence of their thinking of what it takes in order to get us into that next realm, that higher realm. This is what I hear this guy saying. And he said the first 6 figures, that was hard, the hard part. Why? Because he had to break through those barriers that was holding them down. And so I know that's what needs to happen for me. There are some barriers that I've allowed to hold me down and what have you. So this was just these few minutes of what you shared was so power-packed. Yeah. And I'm thankful that you did it just for that segment in order for us to discuss it and be able to meditate on it. Thank you.
Indeed. I don't know. See, I keep trying to do this stuff with paper and science. Let me see if I take the blur off. That helps. I'm holding against my notebook. Probably didn't write it All right, can y'all?
Focus.
There you go. And I think it's backwards too.
No, it's straight.
It's straight.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay. Good. So I wrote that during the time that Lady Tanya, I muted you because there was some movement noise. I think you're probably moving around. But you can unmute every time you can really say anything. But this is so out of what you all were saying, I wrote 3 things for each one of you. Lady Di, it was the interrupting calls. Lady T, it was the focus. It was the breaking the barriers, breaking down those walls for you, Lady Brenda. So my question about each one of your things to you, and each of one of y'all saying, I had to go through as I listened to this little 10 minutes over and over, and I'm going to put it in the chat so that everybody can be able to, in Telegram, so everybody can be able to go and listen to it if they want, and then chime in on the last 5 minutes on tomorrow evening. But my question is, so what do you do about it? So because we're at the grind now. This is serious. I've been like Lady B, like all of you. I've been a part of so many. None have hit me like this one has. Because I've been thinking about real estate for so long. And I think about my parents and their parents, and then just our people in general, and how so much land was stolen from us.
Yes.
So much has been stolen from us because we were ignorant, and they wanted us to be ignorant.
Wow. You
Yes.
brought it back home to me now, Eric, because it definitely was stolen from us.
Yeah. Yeah. We had the experience as well personally. And it is that's quite moving. It's
Yeah.
I find that I have put it out of my mind. Because it's like they say, your why will make you cry. But personally and the family and I too, I've had the desire to be in real estate and work from watching my husband get his first job building homes, and when our retirement plan was for us to get real estate licenses, and we're going to open a brokerage, and that was what we were supposed to do. And before he got sick, that was our retirement plan, because we both like houses and we like property.
And that's the thing. Lady T, did you have anything? Because we're approaching a time where I'm going to cut off.
Well, similar things. I was a realtor back in 1986-ish. I had my kids, so I couldn't continue with it. And I've thought about getting back into it on and off. And I was actually planning to get into real estate again. And Miss Marty called me and told me about WTPE. And I was so grateful because I know it's going to be a hard road. I've done it before, the classes, all that stuff. So I was very, very grateful for her to be able to get back into houses again. I'd walk by houses, drive by houses, and I absolutely loved it. And no one in, I'm just thinking, recently my brother bought a house. My mother has a house. She got when my dad passed away. But our family, we don't have a whole lot of real estate. We don't have a whole lot of things that Mr. Seigler talks about. And so I am very grateful for the opportunity to be able to give that, not only to my family, but to other people as well. So this is a phenomenal opportunity for us, for all of us.
And so this, and I'm gonna mute you back out, Lady T. For some reason, there's some feedback. But this is our reason for making the calls, y'all. And I wanted to do this 7 days, and then it could go further. But I wanted to do this because for those who are, as Les Brown said, hungry, or even those who don't even realize they're hungry, I wanted it to be, and it's about to run, it says run out of time in 10 minutes. I wanted to, I wanted to reignite hunger. I wanted us to dig deep within to that part, which like y'all said, I put on, Lady Di said, I put it on the back burner because we can't, it's like sometimes you think about something for so long and you feel like you can't do anything about it. All it's going to do is weigh you down. But once you know you can do something about it, you can change it, you do have hope of making it, making a turnaround for you, the ones you love, and even others, then you can get at it. Then you can reignite that hunger. Then you can cause that hunger to cause a fire under you. So the thing that the word that came to me was fast. Whenever we begin to fast, we set aside a time to fast. That first 12 hours, first day is usually the hardest. It's like food is your distraction. It's on your mind constantly. So I say that to say, set aside that you're going to fast from your distractions. What can you do with the interrupting calls? They can go to voicemail. If you've got that time set aside, they can go to voicemail. You get back to them after that time. What can you do to keep the focus? Put it on that sheet of paper and put that paper right in front of you. Okay, this is all I'm doing. This is all I'm focused on. When you started doing something, nope, there's my sheet of paper. I've got it written real big. That's what I'm doing right now for this hour, for this 2 hours, for this whatever time. When it comes to breaking that wall and it's there before you, metaphorically, you see it, take that hammer, metaphoric hammer, and break it. It's like, okay, I'm seeing it shatter because it's really all right here. It's right here. So we've got to do this fast thing, fast from this stuff that has held us back to be excuses in our lives and say, I'm fasting from excuses. I'm fasting from excuses and I'm going to focus in on what God wants me to accomplish with this tool he's placed before me that can change and break generational curses. So with that, you all, Father, we thank you. We just bless you for this time that we've had together. We're going to take the things that we've been thinking about and speaking on this evening and heard, and we're going to just let that simmer in us. And Holy Spirit, we thank you that you're teaching us all things. So we thank you that you're bringing back to us those things that we need to know so that we can be kingdom builders in Jesus' name. Y'all have a wonderful night.
Amen. Thank you. I think that should be our theme for the week.
What's that?
Fasting from excuses.
Whoa! I'm going to put that in the Telegram. I love it.
That's wonderful. Yes,
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you, Eric. So appreciate you.
Appreciate you
All
all.
right. And ladies, yep, you guys have a good night. Thank you again, Eric.
I have a quick question. I have a quick question.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
About the you said the 5 goals. I think I missed something someplace, which isn't surprising because I'm not
it was last night.
Okay.
Yeah.
On the call from last night. Okay.
Yeah.
Your
And so
call or the
Zoom.
Call?
No. It was the Zoom that we did from the coffee house. I talked about everybody having, excuse me. Oh, it was staying there. Thank you. I was speaking about, everyone getting what your 5 goals are for yourself, for your life, for your family, writing those down, and then really thinking about why. Why are those your goals? Why are they important? Because, and then the thing I didn't say last night was when you ask yourself why and you give a reason, ask why again, up to 7 times. Because sometimes what will happen is you'll realize that's not really the reason. And that's not really the goal. It's much deeper than that. You have something that's on the surface. So we're going to get into that discussion one night this week as well. So
Can't
Okay.
wait.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, y'all invite others, even if they're not a part of the team yet. Invite them to this. I think that you know, once they see the culture that they're going to become a part of, that may be a draw to, because somebody probably just needs community, and they'd be willing to pay $1,000 for a community that's going to feed them.
Yes.
So,
All right.
all right, love y'all.
Well,
All right. Love
good
you
night.
guys.
Thank you
Have
so
a
much.
good
Love you
night.
too. Have a wonderful night.
Thank
Okay.
you. Good night.